Hey everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and I'm moving my old washing machine out, moving the new one in. Bet you didn't know I knew how to do plumbing 101, but I do. It's pretty easy, except for the fact that I was spraying water out the door over here, but we won't get into that. Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare.com, which will help you learn skills that you didn't know you were capable of, but you had an interest in, you want to pursue, or you're lost. And a lot of people ask me, hey Rob, how do I make money? How do I do this? How do I do that? Well, start by identifying your skill. And for you to say my skill is I'm hardworking, you're supposed to be hardworking. A skill is something you're good at and ultimately that you can teach to somebody else, which is what Skillshare does. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes in design, photo, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Skillshare believes in accessible learning. The price reflects that. An annual subscription with unlimited access is less than $10 a month, making it one of the best deals you can find for online education. Since Skillshare is sponsoring this video, the first 500 people to use the promo link in the description will get their first 2 months free to try it out risk-free. In the world of sponsors, this one actually provides you a value versus a service or a good, and that's very important because it'll help you and it'll help those of you out there that are unsure how to develop your skills and make money and maximize your earnings potentials going forward. So be sure to check them out in the link, especially if you're one of the guys that emails me, how do I make a lot of money in this world? This is a good place to start. What's up everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and behind me, my NSX. A good NSX because it is what an NSX was sort of designed to be. It's what you think about when you say, hey, have you seen that NSX? You get this. The new car missed the mark. I called it. Other people can make videos saying it's worth $200,000. It's not worth it. It's not. I told you what that car was worth, probably about $1.25. And you know what? Guess who's right? This guy, because it's not even a couple of months later and you start seeing the market tank on those to the point where I just saw an NSX for sale, brand new, for $139,000 from a dealership with 2 miles on it. What does that mean? It's twofold. One, it's significantly discounted it's $30,000 off MSRP. Two, they're building cars at virtually no options just to get the cars out there. So when a car is in demand, Ferraris, for example, you'll always see the first Ferraris coming with a ton of options on it. They're not going to build the first cars, which obviously clearly have the most demand, as stripper cars. Not stripper like pole dancer, but stripper cars in very few options, like 1 or 2, whatever. Not much above base MSRP. And they start building cars like that later on when there's fewer buyers out there. They're trying to move cars. If you want to put fewer options on it, great. At least you're buying the car for MSRP or whatever. You're ordering our cars. We're happy to sell it. So that's the number one indication that the NSX is sort of dwindling out and dying off. These are the last of the 17s. I don't even know what the hell is going to happen to the prices of the 17s when the 18s come out, but you're starting here where they were just pumping them out to get them out there. The production numbers are going to fall steadily from here. Unless they do something to really energize the sale of this car, which is they have to change it, because it's not that it's a bad car necessarily. They either have to drastically change the price point on it, like Dodge did with the Viper, or they're just going to have to go ahead and say, you know what, we can't do anything, guys. We're going to have to be okay selling whatever. Instead of our target of 1,000 units a year, we're going to be happy selling 170 cars a year. And that being said, we got to see what they do. They can also say, we're going to make it an awesome car. We know you want a manual transmission. We know you want better looking cars. We know you like to lose the electric motors. They may do that. They may do a Type R version, is much more purist, a lower price point, and really hit the mark and jumpstart the sales, essentially like a Civic Type R or something like that, where it comes out of nowhere and everyone's lining up to buy it. So you'll see what happens. I mean, I was right here. The fact that you've got cars now being built with very few options and then taking $30,000 off MSRP now, I really feel bad for the guys that went out there and paid over a sticker or just $220 to $250 on that car, because I don't care what options you have in your car. If you're paying $250 for that car and you put 1,000, 2,000 miles on it, that car is not worth anything right now. You've lost $100,000. You'd be lucky to get $150 out of it, especially when you go buy a brand new one, and it's got carbon brakes, so it's got the option. You can get a brand new one for $139. Now, to be fair, if you're shopping for an NSX, it's not a terrible car. It shouldn't be called an NSX, but it's not a terrible car. Now is a pretty good time to buy it. I mean, you have to expect some depreciation in the market. That's just what you get when you buy a car. But the fact that you could buy it at $139 now, brand new, and maybe I don't see them really going below the $115 to $130 for the next year, 2, 3 years. Even when they fall on their face completely, I definitely don't see that car selling for much lower than, say, $80,000 to $100,000 longer term. So you're never going to get killed buying it at $130, $135, $140, whatever it is. If you can get a brand new car right now with no miles from a dealer for $139, you could probably buy a little bit more aggressively on the used market. So keep an eye out. I saw the warning signs. I saw this coming. There's very few things you're able to sort of accurately predict. Even having driven the car, I admit it's sort of a decent car to drive, but it's not this. It's a great something else. It's not this. And I think they screwed up by calling it the NSX. I've said that. They've now made too many of them. They haven't been able to sell them. They overpriced it. There's a bunch of missteps that they took. It took them too long to roll it out. There's a bunch of missteps now that have to be corrected. But ultimately, the point of this video is for me to gloat and say, I called this, I saw it coming, and here it is. Not even winter yet, and the market has corrected. And this is just, sure, one car. I assure you, if they're listing this retail, trying to retail it for $30,000 off MSRP, that's not a good sign. There's more to come. If you like the NSX, I'm sure you can go to any dealership and test drive one. I know they've been trying to get it in the hands of anyone, just try to make them fall in love with it. But now is the time to buy. You're not going to go wrong buying even 150. I mean, 150, you're not going to get killed if you find a car in 150 range. Anything between 125 and 150, you're going to be a happy guy driving around the car because it still looks good. It drives good. I can only assume it's reliable. I haven't really seen much in the way of reliability. Although when I was in the demo car, which was an early car, it had 10,000 miles on it and had a couple little electrical hiccups and stuff that I didn't put in the video, but there was definitely some quality control. But again, that wasn't necessarily a production car. That was a 00000 VIN number, which means it's getting crushed. So I don't know if that's being representative of the actual cars being produced. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to go leave your other internet commenters, bloggers, anyone, or internet posters that said that car was awesome. Just go let them know that they weren't really right. And the market did correct significantly. And I think there's a little bit more room to go. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.